I step into the warmly lit living room of our Chicago suburban home, and the air shifts. The scent of Mom's pot roast lingers from dinner. Relatives' chatter fades as Thomas rises from the leather sofa, holding a stack of papers. His face is serious, concerned. Sophia has been draining our parents' accounts, he announces, his voice dripping with false concern. I found everything. Every eye in the room turns to me. Horrified. He waves the papers like evidence in a courtroom. She forged signatures for personal loans. Thousands of dollars. Mom, Dad, look at these bank statements. My stomach twists. My mouth goes dry. This is our sacred family space. The living room where we celebrated holidays, where I've always felt safe. And Thomas is destroying my name in front of everyone I love. My brother thought he outsmarted me. I think bitterly watching his performance. But I notice something. His hand trembles slightly as he points to the papers. His eyes dart too quickly across the room. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. He's nervous. As accusations mount, embezzlement, betrayal, theft, I stay silent. I don't defend myself. I don't cry. Don't scream. Instead, I watch him like he's a stranger. And I wonder, what's his real game? Upstairs in my childhood bedroom, posters of old dreams faded on the walls. I collapse onto the bed. My hands shake. My heart pounds against my ribs so hard I think it might break through. My name is Sophia, I whisper to myself. And I've always been the reliable daughter. The one who balanced the books while Thomas chased schemes. A flashback hits like a punch. 6 months ago at Dad's birthday dinner, Thomas had whispered to our parents about my irresponsible spending. I remembered feeling confused. But I dismissed it. Thomas was always dramatic. Now, I'm publicly accused of stealing from them. Alone in this room, tears sting my eyes. But underneath the fear, something sharp and cold begins to crystallize. Anger. Real anger. I pull out my laptop with shaking hands and start scanning old emails. Hours pass. The house goes quiet downstairs. I'm still clicking through messages, receipts, bank notifications. Then it hits me like lightning. Discrepancy. An email with an altered timestamp. The font is slightly different. The spacing wrong. Heart racing, I save it. Screenshot it. Back it up. If Thomas forged this one email, what else has he forged? How deep does this go? Has he been planning this for months? Years? I don't sleep that night. Instead, I sit in the dark, laptop glowing, one terrible thought repeating. My brother didn't just betray me. He set me up. A week later, family dinner at the oak table where we'd shared countless holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday celebrations. Now it feels like enemy territory. Thomas dominates the conversation, boasting about how he saved the family by uncovering my betrayal. Relatives nod uneasily. They want to believe him. He's the golden child who finally exposed the truth. I sip water and observe. His eyes dart away when Aunt Elaine asks for specific details about the loans. His fingers tap restlessly against the tablecloth. He laughs a little too loudly when Uncle Ben questions the timeline. An inner voice whispers. He's cracking already. Excuse me, I say quietly, standing up. I need to help Mom in the kitchen. But really, I move to where I can overhear him on the phone in the hallway. He thinks everyone's distracted. Yeah, the docs are solid, he's saying. No one's questioning it yet. She's too shocked to fight back. But his voice wavers, cracks slightly at the end. I return to the kitchen, heart pounding. Back at the table, I sip water calmly and casually mention a recent bank audit. Nothing specific. Just mention it like I'm making conversation. Thomas's face goes pale. His fork stops halfway to his mouth. Dinner ends with forced smiles and strained laughter, but I feel it. His panic rising like a tide. What slip will he make next? I'm ready to catch it. In the quiet of my apartment downtown, rain pattering against the window, I spread out printed emails and bank statements across my coffee table like puzzle pieces. The pattern becomes clear. Thomas's favoritism from our parents didn't start with the accusations. It started years ago. Him convincing them to fund his failed business ventures, his failed startups, his failed dreams. Meanwhile, they criticized my steady job, my careful saving, my refusal to ask for handouts. And now, this inheritance grab, this final power move. I call cousin Mia, who hesitates but admits seeing Thomas at the bank alone last month. He said it was for Dad, she says quietly. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Before he accused me of being a thief. Evidence mounts on my table. Mismatched signatures. Forged timestamps. Withdrawal patterns that don't make sense. A photo of him with someone I don't recognize. A man with a nervous face and ink-stained fingers. Could he be the forger? I can't prove it yet. But the pieces are starting to fit. My resolve hardens like steel. No outbursts. No emotional meltdowns. No confrontations. Just facts. Cold, beautiful, irrefutable facts. As night deepens, my phone buzzes. A text from Thomas. Stay out of it. I stare at those 4 words for a long time. Then I smile. Challenge accepted. How will I turn his threats against him? At a family brunch in the sunlit backyard, pancakes stacking high on plates, tensions simmer beneath polite conversation. Thomas jokes about family unity, but his laugh rings hollow. Everyone can hear it. I stay composed, chatting with Uncle Ben about his business, his grandchildren, anything safe. Then he leans closer. Your brother's been pressuring your parents about the will, he says quietly. I overheard him on the phone with your dad last week. A seed of doubt planted in the right mind. My inner monologue whispers. Patience, Sophia. Let them see. When Thomas brags about his discoveries and his detective work, I smile faintly. Just a small knowing smile. I notice Mom's furrowed brow. The way Dad exchanges glances with Uncle Ben. They're starting to wonder. Mom pulls me aside after brunch, into the kitchen. Is it true? She asks softly. Did you really? I say nothing. Instead, I hand her a single piece of paper. A receipt with Thomas's handwriting forging my signature. Her eyes widen. Her hand trembles. I'm not ready to talk about this yet, I tell her gently. But soon. I promise. Brunch wraps with uneasy hugs, but I can feel it. Doubts festering in their minds like seeds finally taking root. Will Mom confront him first? Or will she wait for me? Late evening in the home library, shelves lined with Dad's old books, I meet secretly with Aunt Elaine. She's skeptical at first, sipping tea with narrowed eyes. Then I show her the scanned documents. The comparison of Thomas's handwriting on legitimate family letters versus the loan agreements with my signature. They don't match. The pressure of his pen is different. The letter formations are wrong. He always resented your independence, Aunt Elaine whispers, studying the evidence. Even as a child, you were always so capable, so self-sufficient. We agree, no direct accusations yet, no confrontations. We're building something stronger than anger. We're building a case. As she leaves, I archive more emails on a secure drive. Backup upon backup. Cloud storage. Printed copies locked away. Thomas calls within the hour, voice smug. Family's on my side now. They're starting to believe me. I hang up without a word. Just the soft click of disconnection. Composure intact. Strategy evolving. Heart steady. But then a new email arrives, flagged urgent. An anonymous tip about Thomas's gambling debts. Substantial debts. 6 figures. Casino records. Loan sharks. The pieces finally click into place. Is this the motive driving his betrayal? The desperate need for money pushing him to frame his own sister? Back in my apartment, laptop glowing in the dim light, I cross-reference everything. Bank records. Casino withdrawal records. Public information. Timestamps. Thomas's patterns emerge like a confession written in numbers. Withdrawals spike on specific dates. Those same dates correspond to major casino trips. Money leaves our parents' accessible accounts on those exact days. He's been stealing from them, and then blaming me. I print timelines, pinning them to a board like a detective assembling a case. Color-coded, organized, beautiful in its clarity. Inner thoughts crystallize. He's arrogant, thinking my silence means defeat. He has no idea I'm building a fortress. A call to the family accountant yields hesitation, then finally. Some of those transfers do look irregular. Timestamps don't align. Authorization signatures seem inconsistent. I record the conversation legally, documenting everything with dates and times. Night wears on. Coffee fuels my focus. My hands shake from caffeine and adrenaline. Then a knock at my door. Thomas stands there, uninvited, eyes wild. "You need to confess," he demands, pushing past me. "You need to tell them the truth before this gets worse." I close the door calmly, my heart pounding so hard I can barely speak. His desperation shows like a flashing neon sign. How long before he makes a fatal mistake? Holiday gathering in the festively decorated living room, lights twinkling on the tree. Thomas toasts to truth and family honor, but relatives exchange knowing glances. The facade is cracking. I observe from the corner, noting every detail. Dad's weary eyes. Mom's tense shoulders. The way relatives lean away from Thomas slightly. During gift exchange, Dad pulls me aside quietly. "Son says you're in trouble," he says, and I hear the doubt in his voice. "Says you've been stealing." I don't argue. I don't defend. Instead, I show him one forged signature. His own, mismatched against a legitimate one from his will. He stares at it for a long time. Doubt flickers across his face like a candle finally being lit in darkness. Thomas notices us talking, and he interrupts loudly, launching into another speech about protecting the family and hard truths. Inner calm settles over me. Timing is everything. The evening ends with strained cheer and forced laughter, but whispers spread through the room like wildfire. Relatives pull me aside individually, asking quiet questions, wanting answers, wanting to understand. As I leave, Mom texts, "We need to talk. Tomorrow. Alone." An alliance forming. Finally. But Thomas's glare follows me out the door, burning like coal. What retaliation is he plotting now? Weeks pass in quiet routine. Work by day. Evidence gathering by night. The apartment becomes my war room, organized and meticulous. In a coffee shop downtown, I meet with James, a family friend who works at the bank. His face is serious, uncomfortable. "He claimed power of attorney," James says, voice low. "Used it to access accounts that should have been restricted. When I questioned him, he got angry. Said his parents authorized it." "Did they?" ask. "No," James says quietly. "I called your parents to verify. They have no record of signing anything." Notes added to my dossier. Another piece of the puzzle clicking into place. Thomas emails taunts. "Give up, sis. You're making this worse. Mom and Dad believe me. You're finished." I delete them unfazed. Each one is another confession he doesn't realize he's making. Transformation deepens inside me. From victim to architect. From broken girl to strategic woman. Inner dialogue strengthens. His lies will bury him. Not me. Never me. But a surprise visit from my parents. Concerned, probing. They sit in my living room and ask difficult questions. Want to understand both sides. Want to believe their daughter. I reveal nothing yet. Instead, I plant subtle questions. When did Thomas first mention the loans? Who was present? Has he ever needed money urgently before? They leave unsettled but thinking, processing. Tension builds like a storm gathering on the horizon. When will the first crack in his facade become a chasm? Digging deeper in the attic of the family home, dust motes dancing in my flashlight beam, I find old ledgers. Dad's meticulous records from decades ago. And their patterns repeating. Thomas's youthful forgeries, forged school notes, falsified allowance records, age-old lies about where money went. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. I photograph everything for proof, hands steady, heart focused. Downstairs, Thomas confronts me as I emerge from the attic. Snooping won't help, he says, voice threatening. I smile silently, walking away without a word. Later, online search reveals his hidden debts. Public records of loans in his name. Unsecured personal loans. Credit cards maxed out. Lien notices. The financial desperation is real. Concrete. Documented. Evidence folder swells to bursting. My composed exterior hides a strategic mind that's 3 steps ahead. But a call from Mia. He's spreading rumors about you. Telling people you have mental health issues. Saying you're unstable. Reputation at stake now. Not just inheritance. My character. My future. My life. Resolve steels like tempered iron. How can I use his smears to boomerang back? How do I turn his attacks into proof of his desperation? Park bench meeting with Uncle Ben under autumn leaves. The air crisp and cold. I share select evidence. Timelines, witness confirmations, the bank irregularities. He reviews everything carefully, nodding gravely. This is serious, he says finally. I'll back you at the family meeting. Whatever you need. One ally secured. A voice that carries weight. Back in my apartment, I organize files chronologically, building an irrefutable narrative. Each document flows into the next like chapters of a confession Thomas didn't know he was writing. Thomas's calls increase. His voice cracks. Let's settle privately. I'll give back half. You just need to say nothing. Half admission. Half panic. I ignore every call. Inner strength crystallizes. Patience outsmarts panic every single time. Mom confides over the phone, her voice tight. Something's off with him, Sophia. Something's been off for years. We just didn't want to see it. Seeds bearing fruit. Parents finally waking up. But then a family email from Thomas announces, proof against me. He's bold now, desperate. Claims he has witness statements. Demands a family meeting to resolve this once and for all. Bold move. Confident move. Or is this his desperate bluff? Has he finally overplayed his hand? In the lawyer's office, neutral ground in the city, I consult discreetly. A woman named Patricia, sharp-eyed and experienced. Gather witnesses. Stay legal. Document everything, she advises. Let him expose himself. I nod, adding her notes to my binder. Evening walk through the city clears my mind. Strategy solidifies. Expose everything at the final meeting. Let the evidence speak. Let relatives draw their own conclusions. Thomas texts threats. You'll regret this. Family comes first. Drop it, or I'll make sure everyone knows what you really are. Deleted. Not save. Not responded to. Transformation complete inside me. From shocked girl to empowered woman. From victim to architect of her own justice. But discovering his affair with a relative's spouse, shocking email trail with explicit messages, creates a moral dilemma. Could use it. Destroy his reputation completely. Well, I stick to finances. Stick to facts. Stick to law. Personal scandals will leak anyway once people start questioning him. That's not my weapon. The truth is enough. Tension peaks as the date approaches. Will personal scandals leak and destroy the family further? Or will we find healing through accountability? Family chat group buzzes with Thomas's pleas for unity. Let's end this. Family is everything. We can work this out together, he writes. I lurk, observing. But allies chime in with doubts. Have we verified everything? What about the bank records? Something doesn't add up. The narrative is shifting. In my kitchen, I print final dossiers for each relative. Organized. Clear. Professional. Every claim backed by documentation. Inner monologue solidifies. Silence has been my shield. Now it becomes my sword. A surprise. Dad calls, his voice breaking slightly. I've been thinking about how we've treated you over the years, he says. The favoritism toward Thomas. The pressure on you. Sorry, Sophia. I'm so sorry. Emotional breakthrough. Validation I didn't know I needed. But Thomas visits my apartment pleading. Drop it for family. Please. I'm begging you. I shut the door without a word. Not cruelly. Just finally. His facade crumbles visibly as he stands there, realizing she's not going to save me. She's never going to let this go. Countdown begins. Days left now. Hours. What if he destroys evidence first? What if he runs? Night before the meeting in bed, I review my binder one final time. Every lie traced. Witnesses lined up. Backups of backups. Screenshots. Recordings. Bank confirmations. Composure meditation. Breathe in strength. Breathe out fear. Dream flashes. Childhood. Thomas always competing. Always resenting me for being steady, reliable, capable. The seeds of this betrayal planted decades ago. Awake at dawn, resolved. Morning coffee with Mia. We're ready, I say. She nods, squeezing my hand. He's going down. Thomas's last email arrives. You can't win. No one will believe you over me. Ignored. Deleted. Car ride to the family home, heart steady. Hand steady. Mind clear. Arrival. Relatives gather in the living room. The same room where this started. The air is thick with expectation. But panic moment. A missing document. I reach for it mentally. No backup in cloud. Backup on my phone. Backup on my laptop. Stakes high. Will twists derail everything? Meeting starts. Circle of chairs. Formal. Serious. Thomas opens confidently, restating his accusations with theatrical flair. He's polished, practiced, convincing. But then Uncle Ben interrupts. Wait, I've seen evidence otherwise. Thomas falters. His confident smile slips. Reversal. Aunt Elaine reveals his pressure tactics. The phone calls to parents about the will. The attempts to isolate them from me. He denies vehemently, voice rising. That's a lie. That's. Inner calm settles. Arrogance blinds him completely. But twist. He produces a new witness. Paid friend claiming my guilt. Voice shaking slightly. Story scripted. Room murmurs. Strategy tested like never before. How do I counter this lie? How do I prove he bought testimony? I stand composed, distributing binders to every relative. Not angry. Not emotional. Just clear. Let's review the facts, I say quietly. Pages turn. Gasps rise at the forgeries. The mismatched signatures. The altered emails. The timeline that makes no sense. Thomas sweats visibly. They're fabricated. She's lying. But the banker speaks on speakerphone, voice steady and professional, confirming every irregularity, every unauthorized access, every lie. Twist. He accuses me of hacking, of fabricating evidence, of being mentally unstable. Relatives waver. Doubt flickers. I play the recorded call, his own voice admitting. The docs are solid. She's too shocked to fight back. His own words. His own confession. Reversal hits. Mom tears up, looking at him with devastation. How could you? How could you do this to your sister? To us? He storms toward the door, but no one tries to stop him. No locked doors. No dramatic barriers. Just the heavy weight of truth. Chaos brews. What hidden card does he hold? Tears flow as Dad confronts Thomas directly. You manipulated us. You lied to our faces. You tried to steal from us. Thomas lashes out, revealing years of resentment. She was always perfect. Always the golden child that you favored. I was tired of being in her shadow. Twist. Childhood secret spills. He'd stolen money from the family cookie jar at age 12 and blamed me. Parents finally understand. This pattern is decades old. I stay silent, letting truth echo through the room. But reversal. He claims parents' favoritism drove him to this. That they pushed him to desperation. That he's the victim here. Sympathy stirs in some faces. Confusion settles. Strategy, redirect to documents. The facts don't change based on our feelings about them, I say quietly. Motivation doesn't excuse fraud. Inner tension rises. Will family fracture permanently? Or will they choose accountability? Cousin Mia testifies. I saw him forge documents at the bank. He was using Dad's signature. Thomas explodes. You're a liar. You're working with her. Twist. He produces a text from Mia that seems to collude with me. Let's get him together. Seems damning. Room divides. Relatives look confused. I reveal metadata. The text was edited after the fact. Timestamps manipulated. His IP address shows he sent it from his laptop, not from Mia's phone. Reversal. Tech-savvy relative confirms. He fabricated evidence against his own witness. He panics, knocking over a lamp in the chaos. Composure finally shattered. Truth prevails, I say calmly, my voice the only steady sound in the room. But new twist. An anonymous letter arrives mid-meeting, alleging my own secrets. Vague but damaging. Setup. My heart races. Is this his final ploy? Letter read aloud by Dad, who looks confused. Baseless claims about Sophia having affairs. About her being unfaithful. About her threatening someone. I counter calmly with timestamps. The letter was sent from Thomas's IP address at 2:47 a.m. His email. His computer. Twist. Tech-savvy relative confirms by analyzing routing data. No doubt. No ambiguity. Thomas stammers excuses. My email was hacked. I was framed. This is a conspiracy. Reversal. Parents look at him with a new expression. Not anger. Not confusion. Just disappointment. We're done, Dad says quietly. Voice final. You're not our son until you take responsibility for this. He begs. Family. Please. But doors close. Not metaphorically, emotionally. Relationally. Permanently. Inner victory. Silence won. Patience won. Truth won. Yet twist, he threatens lawsuit. I'll sue for defamation. I'll take you all down. Empty. Probably. But tension lingers. Will legal fears halt justice? Surprise. His ex-partner calls in mid-meeting. She'd driven over after hearing rumors. Voice trembling. She exposes debts funded by theft. Money he'd stolen from family accounts to pay off creditors chasing him. She has proof, bank records, conversations, documentation. Twist. She has everything. Every crime. Every lie. Every theft. Thomas collapses, admitting partially. I needed the money. I was desperate. Reversal. Relatives unite against him in a way that feels final. Organic. Unavoidable. I nod gratefully to his ex, recognizing a woman who's also been victimized by his lies. But twist. He reveals a family heirloom was sold by him years ago. A diamond ring that belonged to grandmother. Sold to cover gambling debts. Rage peaks. That ring was supposed to go to me. Family symbol of love and connection. Strategy intact. Evidence seals everything. No more he said she said. Cliffhanger. Someone mentions calling police. Police. No, just a delivery arrives. More evidence from the accountant, who's been conducting a full audit. Twist. Thomas's full embezzlement uncovered. Not thousands. Millions over 10 years. Systematic. Calculated. Deliberate. The room goes silent. He flees toward the door, but relatives block the path. Not violently, just standing firm. Reversal. Confession pours out like a dam breaking. Years of jealousy. Resentment. Greed. She had everything easy. She was always favored. I deserved more. Tears mix with anger. His voice cracks. I remain composed, watching without judgment, feeling only sadness for the brother I used to have. But final twist. He implicates a relative in the scheme. Claims Aunt Elaine helped him. Claims she knew. Shockwaves. Who? Could it be true? Implicated. No one. His lie to divide us one final time. Tech check proves. Aunt Elaine's name on no documents. No evidence of her involvement. He's grasping, inventing, destroying even as he confesses. Heavy reversal. Family bonds strengthen, isolating him completely. They recognize the pattern. He divides. He lies. He accuses. He breaks down fully, arrogance shattered like glass. I'm sorry, he whispers. I'm so sorry. I don't know who I am anymore. Inner healing begins. Not forgiveness, not yet, maybe never, but understanding. Sadness for what he's done, what he's destroyed. Cliffhanger ends. Closure imminent, but what penance? Calm restores. Parents compose themselves. Relatives settle. I stand and present closing statements. Truth frees us. Even when the truth hurts. Even when it's ugly and complicated. We deserve to know who we're dealing with. Binders passed one final time. Lies dismantled completely. No room for argument or doubt. Thomas sits silent, defeated. All the fight gone. Parents apologize to me. Long overdue, deeply needed. We should have listened. We should have protected you. We're sorry. Witnesses affirm my timeline. Corroborate my evidence. Validate my experience. No screams. No dramatics. No raised voices. Just facts dominating. Cold, beautiful, undeniable facts. His underestimation fatal. She won't do anything. She's too kind. Too afraid. Downfall starts. Disinheritance vote. Unanimous. No dissent. Emotional security returns. Not because I'm winning, but because the truth is finally visible. Vote is unanimous. Thomas is cut off. Completely. No access to family accounts. No inheritance. No future financial support. He leaves the house with his head bowed, walking alone down the driveway. No one follows. No one calls after him. The absence of response is louder than any confrontation could be. Relatives hug me, long, genuine embraces. We believe you, they say. We're so sorry we didn't see it sooner. Trust rebuilds. Not instantly but genuinely. Relationally. Inner monologue crystallizes. Victorious through composure. Winning through patience. Justice through facts. Family toasts renewal and restoration. Laughter returns to the living room. Different now, harder one, more precious. His arrogance echoes in emptiness. The absence of a chair at the table. The silence where his voice used to dominate. Legal follow-up. Reports filed cleanly with authorities. Evidence submitted. Investigation opens. Healing arc closes with finality. Months later, quiet dinner at the family table. The whole circle present and whole, minus him. The oak table where the betrayal started now feels safe again. I reflect on the journey. From shock to strength. From victim to architect. From broken girl to healed woman. Identity restored. I think, tasting the words. They feel true now. Laughter fills the air. Genuine, earned, precious. Dad asks me to say grace, and in that moment I understand. I won because I refused to become what he was. I didn't lie. I didn't manipulate. I didn't steal or forge or deceive. I simply gathered truth and waited for the right moment. Replay value lingers. What would happen if I'd screamed? If I'd fought back immediately? If I'd used his affair against him? But I didn't. I stayed clean. Emotional impact from this journey will never fully fade. The scar of betrayal will remain. But it's healed now. Integrated. Part of my story, not the whole of it. Final thought crystallizes as I look around the table at faces that finally see me clearly. Revenge. No. Never revenge. Justice. accountability, truth, and belonging secured forever. Not because I proved I was better than my brother, but because I proved I was stronger than the lies he told about me. The family is whole again, and I am finally completely free. I receive a letter forwarded from the family lawyer. Thomas's handwriting, shaky and uncertain. He's in therapy, in a treatment facility for gambling addiction, acknowledging what he's done. I was drowning, he writes. And instead of swimming, I pulled everyone else down with me. I destroyed the one person who actually tried to help me. Sorry, Sophia. I know sorry doesn't fix anything. But I needed you to know. I don't respond immediately. Not yet. Healing isn't about rescuing him or absolving him. It's about protecting myself and rebuilding what was broken. But I don't throw the letter away either. I keep it in a drawer. Not as evidence, but as a reminder that even the worst people are still human. Mom calls to tell me that Thomas is starting to rebuild. Slowly, carefully, with real support. He's facing legal consequences. Restitution payments stretching years into the future. A long, uncertain road forward. Will we ever forgive him? She asks quietly, her voice still carrying the weight of maternal confusion. I don't know, I say honestly. But I've already forgiven myself. That's what matters now. That's what had to happen first. And it's true. The girl who walked into that living room and faced public humiliation in front of everyone she loved has transformed into a woman who knows her own value, her own worth, her own strength. She doesn't need her brother's validation. She never did. I hang up the phone and look at my reflection in the window. The face looking back is mine, but stronger, clearer, finally at peace.